All right, so here we are working on the neck. We're routing for the truss rod, checking it with caliper, fitting it patiently like a true craftsman, lovingly, caringly, with semi-razor sharp tools, gouging and hacking, I mean expertly cutting. And this little laying there perfect. Just absolutely flush top and bottom with no rattle, no movement. Ready to lie in its dark tomb for eternity behind the fretboard. So yeah, one of the cool things was learning about and getting more experience, rather, not so much learning about sharpening and using chisels and planes and getting those tools sharp and set up and using them correctly. And it just, it amazes me. I'm in awe of all you guys who just, oh, this is a little thick here, I'll take this plane, and oh, now it's dead flat, you know. You just do it in a few licks and it looks so great and clean, and the finish you get with a plane is amazing. I would never have really known that. Or the finish you can get with a plane, let's put it that way. All things are possible if you're an expert, right? So now we are putting the template on it, and we're going to route around the template. This is pretty much where I screw up the neck, because when I put the neck on the template on the blank, I'm a bit undercut in on one spot on one side of the neck, and I mean just a few thousandths. And so what I did, and I knew that the template I had was for a 1.75 inch nut, a whole 1 3/4. So I figured I had 100 thousandths to play with to slim it down a little bit, which I did. You know, hindsight, of course, I should have left it and dealt with it later. And slimmed it down when I was profiling it. That would have been much preferable. But I thought it'd be easier to just profile it with the template on there, and then I could run around with the router, and everything would be hunky dory. But I wound up with the neck thin, but thin on one side. So it's not horribly thin, but the fact that it's on one side really kind of it hurts its playability, and there's really nothing I can do about it. It is playable. It does work. In the end, I can record that safely, because this voiceover is being recorded, hopefully being recorded. This is about the 8th time I've said hopefully it's being recorded in the last 2 days. So we can get this video up and published, but a lot of things went wrong, and a lot of things were fixed, and a lot of things went right. Unfortunately, that's the one thing that's probably just can't be fixed. It's going to be a thing about that guitar, or that neck, for the rest of its life. It is a pretty guitar. I'm having some issues with the bridge. I don't know if I can have those resolved before tomorrow, the 30th of June, because the bridge seems to be too high. And I've noticed this on other Jazz Masters, that if you lower the saddle too much to lower the action, you're taking the saddle out of the equation. The saddle will start rattling because you're sitting on the back of the bridge. The bridge is just a little stamped bracket, and the top of that back plate that the adjustment screws go through is too tall, and it's too tall on. And I bought the aftermarket cheapo bridge because Jazzmaster hardware will cost you an arm and a leg if you buy the top shelf stuff. but my Mexican Jazz Master is dangerously close also. And I've got to look into that more and figure out what's going on there. The bridge rocks on the Jazz Master back and forth when you use a tremolo. So here I am. What I'm doing is I'm shaping the neck at the 1st fret and the 12th fret with the Shinto rasp based on templates that I made using, again, the little credit card blanks you buy in a big stack from Amazon. And I made them according to my Fender Mexican made Jazz Master, whatever shape that is supposed to be. I think they say it's a deep C, but it doesn't really look like that to me so much. But other people call it a standard C. Or so yeah, that's what we're doing here, and we'll do that down at 12. Later when I checked, they were small with the templates, and I measure them with a caliper, and they're a little undersized there too. It's about 40 thousandths undersized at the 1st fret, and it's 50 thousandths undersized at the 1st fret, and about 40 thousandths undersized at the 12th fret. But like I say, it's all on one side, so the 1st string is dangerously close to the edge. All your bends have to go up; none of them can go down. But you can, it's one of those things you kind of get used to. Here we're just shaping the headstock. Then we're going to do some work on the heel after this. And then I tried to shape the little transitions like the ones on the Mexican Fender. I'm not sure. I didn't look on my Strat or maybe my Telecasters, but I just copied that one because why not? More or less. The neck is a little thick from front to back, but it's not terrible for me. And we're starting to blend out with the Shinto a little bit. Breaking the big square corner off. One of the things that handicaps me is I really don't have the ability until I raise my playing game and I can be like the experts and just blaze any piece of wood down to whatever thickness I want in a very short period of time and leave a sparkling, flat, shiny micro finish with it. Then I'm really kind of behind the 8 ball without a thickness sander or planer. But it can be dealt with, but it's not as easy as it would be otherwise. And here we are putting in the abalone dots that I bought, and this went much better. This is the side dots, but so much better than I actually thought that it could. This worked just like all the experts. You put a little super glue in there and stick it in there, and then you level it off later, and it just comes out fantastic. So next time I'll be looking to maybe do something a little better with the inlays. This actually came out pretty